Before the Civil War, most married women took care of their children and did unpaid work around the house. As the 19th century came to an end, though, many women had to leave their homes to find work. Women on farms kept doing their usual jobs, like cooking, cleaning, sewing, raising children, and helping with crops and animals. In the meantime, more jobs with better pay opened up in towns and cities, which led to more women joining the workforce. By 1900, 1 in 5 American women had a job, and about a quarter of them worked in industry. Many women who worked in production, especially in the garment industry, had low-skilled jobs and were paid much less than men. Other women took on new jobs in shops, offices, and classrooms. Some went to business schools to become bookkeepers and typists, jobs that required at least a high school degree. Women who didn't go to school often worked as housekeepers or babysitters for other people's children because they didn't have a proper education. African American women worked as housekeepers, laundresses, scrub women, and maids on farms and in towns because they had to make money. Unmarried immigrant women did housework, took on piecework, or let people stay in their homes. Women could not own land until the middle of the 1900s. This meant that any money they made belonged to their husbands. But things started to get better in 1839, when the first state passed a rule letting women own property. At the beginning of the 20th century, working women had hard lives and pushed for changes. In 1911, 146 young workers, mostly immigrant girls, died in a fire at the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory. This terrible event, known as the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire, led to a call for change. Colleges like Vassar, Smith, and Wellesley opened their doors as more women went to college. No longer was marriage the only choice for women, and many went to work or went to school. These women used what they knew to push for important changes in society. Since women couldn't vote or run for office, they worked to make work and home life better. Unskilled workers were among the first to push for changes to make workplaces safer and healthier, and educated women helped the early reform groups grow. The National Association of Colored Women, also known as NACW, was started by African American women in 1896. Through different programs, NACW works to improve educational chances for African Americans. The National Association of Colored Women, NACW, was started by African American women in 1896. Through different programs, NACW works to improve educational chances for African Americans. But there were things in their way. The alcohol industry was worried that women would vote for prohibition, and the textile industry was worried about rules that would make it harder for children to work. Some guys were happy with the way things were and didn't want anything to change. Women tried different things to get the right to vote, such as persuading state lawmakers, asking the courts to explain the 14th Amendment, and pushing for a change to the national constitution. Women tried different things to get the right to vote, such as persuading state lawmakers, asking the courts to explain the 14th Amendment, and pushing for a change to the national constitution. Along the way to getting the vote, women had both successes and failures in their quest for equality.